All right, so our next topic that we're talking about is angle-side relationships. So we kind of talked about this when we did isosceles triangles. And so basically all we're doing today is figuring out, well, how do you know which side is across from which angle? And so that's angle-side relationships. So basically we know that the smallest angle in any triangle is going to be across from the smallest side. They go together. Okay, so to figure out which side and which angle like match up, we're going to use this covering up method. So if you want to find the smallest angle, then you're going to, or the smallest side, you would cover up the smallest angle with your hand, and then the only side that you see left is the smallest side. Okay, this also works the other way. The largest angle is across from the largest side. So whichever side or angle you want to find, you would use the same method to figure it out. So in this one it says list the sides from least to greatest. So the order that you write them in matters, and every question tells you to list them in a different order. If you are not aware, least means the smallest and greatest means the biggest. Okay, so in this one, I want to list from small to big, and there are 3 sides or 3 angles. So I like to write out the order that I'm supposed to be listing: small to large. Okay, and obviously your medium one is going to go in the middle. Okay, so I don't know. I don't have numbers on the sides. I have numbers in the corners, in the angles. Okay, so I'm going to use that information to tell me which side is which. So that's why I have this giant hand up here. So you can't see me if I was just using my own hand, so I got to use this hand to cover up the angles. So first thing, which is the smallest angle in this picture? Well, I got a 70, a 60, and a 50. Obviously, 50 is the smallest. So I'm going to start by covering up that 50-degree angle. If I cover that up with my hand, what do I see left? Oh, it's this side over here, A to B. Okay? So I say that the smallest side is AB. And you could do like we were doing before with isosceles triangles. We're saying, oh, across from this angle is this side, and you can point at it with the arrow. That is exactly what we're doing. Okay. All right. The next, our medium angle. Well, we already used 50, so obviously we're not looking at 50. We're looking at 70 and 60, which is the medium one. That's going to be 60. So I'm going to use this hand. I'm going to cover up the 60. What side do I see left? Is AC. So I'm going to draw a little line across from that to this side is AC. I put AC. Okay, great. And then our largest side. So I cover up the largest angle is that 70. So I cover that up and I see what's left. BC. Okay. So across from this is BC. I put BC. And this is the correct order. AB, then AC, then BC. Okay. For the angles, so this one wants us to list the angles, and this time I have numbers on the sides. I don't have numbers on the angles. So this time we're going to be covering up the sides, not the corners. Okay, and this time our order is from greatest to least. So we're going big to small this time. So I'm going to write that down. I got my large, and then it should be my medium, and then my small. Okay, great. So when I look at these sides, which side is the largest side? Well, I can see that the largest number is 10. So I need to cover up that 10. Now you should cover up the whole thing. So I gotta make this hand like really big. So I cover up all of that side. What angle do I see? The only angle I see is angle A. So let me move this off to the side. So the angle across from 10 is A. So I'm going to put angle A. That's going to be my largest. Okay, my medium side was 8. So I'm going to use this giant hand, and I'm going to cover up the side that has an 8 on it, which is covering up the A and the C. So across from that is angle B. across from A I can see is B. So I'm going to put angle B. And then my last one, my smallest side is right here, so I cover up the smallest side. Boom. What's the angle I see? Is angle C. Angle C. Okay, if you can do it without like using the hand, like great, but some people have problems figuring out what's the angle across from the side. Okay, so is my answer. Angle A and then B and then C. Okay, last one. It says, which is the largest side given the information below? So they're describing this triangle. So the first tip is you need to draw the triangle. It doesn't need to be a pretty triangle. It doesn't need to be any specific triangle. It can be any kind of triangle you want to draw. Great. See how ugly that was? You can draw whatever kind of triangle you want. I do need to label it with what letters? I need to label it with letters. Obviously, I'm going to use the letters that they gave me, A, B, and C. Does it matter which corners I put them in? No. A, B, C. But you do always put letters on the corner, not in the middle of the side. Okay? Now, they did give me this information over here. They said the measure of angle A is 40, the measure of angle B is 60, the measure of angle C is 80. So I need to put those numbers. Those are all angles. So I put the numbers for the angles in the corners that they go in. So A was 40, so I'm putting it in 40. Angle B was 60, and angle C was 80. And all they want is which is the largest side. I don't need to put it in order. I'm just one side. Which is the biggest side? So how do I know which is the biggest side? Well, which is the biggest angle? Well, out of 40, 60, and 80, I see, oh, this is my biggest angle. What is the side across from that angle? Well, I'm going to cover up that angle to figure it out. So here's my little hand, cover up the angle, and it would show me AB is the side across from that. So I can move my little hand. So, pen, here we go. Across from this angle is this side, which is AB, is the largest side. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure you send them in the chat. Otherwise, you can go ahead and get started on the practice.